Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And oh my gosh, a 9 of Cups. This is the card that makes me smile the most. This is the card of happiness. This is the card of living a life, right? Living a life. It's a verb. It's a 9, an odd number. It's a function, a process, okay? Living a life that is super abundant. Living a life, it's a way of life, right? That is physically, financially satisfying, mentally, emotionally fulfilling, spiritually and creatively satisfying and abundant, right? This is the best card because this is kind of what we all want. This is the kind of life that we all want. Now, it looks different for everybody, right? You're somebody who I think right now you're really you're a tremendous optimist. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. You're just thinking, this life is going to be the best. I can feel it. Right? And even I think when you get knocked down, there's still a joy in life where you kind of get up with a smile and you say, that's okay. I'm going to keep going. Yeah. I think that you're generally right now a very cheerful person. I feel like you have a lot of patience for people too. Yeah. I don't know why that is, but it feels like there's some kind of annoying people around you, but you're very patient with them. And I don't know if it's a work thing or if we're talking family members or something, but I feel like you have it takes a lot to really get you riled up in terms of like losing your temper or like getting mad or raising your voice. You know, you can be very mellow, very steady, but it's like a calm power that you have. Yeah. And you lost somebody younger than you not too long ago. Right? A younger sibling or something like that, right? Someone in your family who was younger than you, transitioned into spirit, right? I feel like you've gone through a lot of hardship in your life, and it doesn't seem to it doesn't destroy you. You still have this very optimistic, very happy, very cheerful energy about you, okay? And I feel like it's really, something's happening. And I think you can feel that something is very close to happening for you. Let's see what else is going on with this 9 of Cups. We've got an 8 of Swords. Interesting. So the 8 of Swords is a little bit of self-sabotage. I just got through saying how cheerful you are and how nothing seems to bother you. I feel as if something is... maybe not bothering you in that way, but something is kind of perplexing you. Because this is the card of analysis, over-analysis, right? And maybe we're not losing our cheerfulness. Maybe you're still the tremendous optimist. Maybe all that stuff's still true, right? But I think you're having maybe difficulty figuring out what to do next, or what changes to make in your life, or if you need to change something, or like what you can do to kind of hasten that 9 of Cups arriving for you, right? To really, to complete that 9 of Cups, you know, to make it better, to expand on that. It could be that we're looking for a sign or an indication of what the next step is here, okay? Because it feels as if, yeah, we've got a pretty good way of life going right now, but we don't want to stagnate. Because if we don't continually move and evolve and grow in terms of, spiritual development or personal development, career-wise, or, anything else like that in terms of your personal life connections, family connections, romantic connections, friends, all this stuff. If we don't continually move forward, then we're going to start to stagnate, and that 9 of Cups is going to start to feel like an 8 of Cups. We don't want that, right? So we we generally have to keep moving in life. And we can get comfortable. Maybe you got the perfect job, perfect house, perfect family, perfect friends. There's nothing more to do, right? Or is there? I think there's always something more to do. There's always a way that we can improve, that we can build upon what we already have. It's not about saying, I don't like any of this stuff, I want something different. It's about, I love what I have, how can I make it even better? Or how can I share it with other people? Or how can I build upon this? How can I expand this or that? Right? And I think we're wondering kind of, what do we do now? What's the next move? What's the next step? Where do we go from here? Okay, got the Eight of Swords there. Let's see what's underneath the surface. Ace of Cups. See, we're looking for that kind of what's next. We want to keep the water flowing. Yeah. And I think that you have such an intense connection with life. And I don't know if you consider yourself a spiritual person or even like a religious person or anything like that, but I feel as if you've got that connection with what really is the true essence of spirituality and religion, and that is love. Right? That is this holy grail of love, the Ace of Cups. And this is underneath the surface. It's within you. And I kind of feel as if like you just exude warmth and love. And I think that's part of this kind of very cheerful or optimistic kind of, personal trait that I'm feeling from you. And I think that other people feel it too. You might find it very easy to make friends. You find it very easy to connect with people, to be generous and charitable toward people, to really, really love people, pets, plants, and people. And I think people really gravitate toward you because you have this, I think, a very calm demeanor, and you exude this kind of warmth and this love that it feels maybe like an authenticity or a sincerity that you have. And people like that. And people want to know you. People want to be around you, right? There's some connection with Japan for you. I don't know if you met somebody recently that's from Japan or if you live there or you visited there, but there's some Japanese connection for you. It might just be culture or philosophy or something, or even a spirituality from that area, but there's some Japanese connection in there. Yeah. The Ace of Cups, absolutely beautiful. What's behind the scenes? Four of Cups. Four of Cups sometimes is about us knowing what we want and what we don't want. Okay? It can sometimes be that we are too moved by our desires. Right? That when I want something, I want a bowl of ice cream, right? Look at me, always with the ice cream. If I get it, I'm happy. If I don't get it, I'm not happy, right? And so we're very moved, we're very affected by what's going on right now. And am I satisfying my desires now? If I can't, I'm going to be mad. It's like we order something from Amazon. It's going to take 2 days to get here. And I know I want it now. And so for those 2 days, I'm going to be anxious and miserable until I get it. But then once we get it, okay, what else, what do I want next, And I think that maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's been kind of a little bit part of your life in the past. It's something I think you've grown away from. And you've realized what happiness really is and what joy really is. Joy is in the little things and the big things. Okay, so yeah, it feels good when you order something online and it finally arrives. You get to open it and there's your brand new pack of tarot cards or whatever, and it feels very good. And that's a satisfaction of a desire, But I think you also know what those really meaningful, joyous moments are. The time you get to spend with your friends or your family or your kids or your grandparents or your parents, where you get to really share something, even if it's just a smile or a glance with someone that you love or somebody close to you or even a stranger, right? It even comes through those random acts of kindness that we're always talking about. Just holding the door for somebody. Just, paying for somebody's cup of coffee or something. Coffee's getting expensive these days, but you know what I mean. Right? Just finding ways to connect with people. And in those moments is a lot of joy. Yeah. So I think that with the Four of Cups here in the background, this is part of that personal development that we were talking about. right? And the dynamics of life. Yeah, I want what I want right now. When I want ice cream, there's nothing that's going to satisfy me more than just going and getting a big bowl of ice cream and eating it right now. And the immediate satisfying of that desire, immediate gratification, feels good. We like that, right? But I think you also know as part of your development and your evolution as a spiritual being that joy and happiness and gratification has so many other forms. And that's part of the Ace of Cups too, because the Ace is the source of all of that love. The Ace is the source of all the rivers. And from the Ace, every other river branches out. Some of them are the immediate desires. Some of those are just the connections with strangers. Some of them are the moments with our kids, our nephews, our nieces, our cousins, our, whatever. And some of those are romantic relationships. Some of those are friendships. One river is the connection that we have with, our ancestors, our spiritual connections. It's platonic love, romantic love, it's spiritual, divine love, it's self-love. It's all of these things. And I think that you're growing into all these different forms of love right now. I think there is a bit of nostalgia in you. I feel like you collect something from the past. I don't know if it's like concert tickets or something like that. My poor cactus over here. It's not a cactus, actually. It's a succulent, and I'm not sure what it is. I need to water it, though. And it is real, too. They look fake, but they're very much alive. Anyway, I feel like you collect something like that, whether it's concert tickets or something that's kind of a memory of the past. Yeah, and maybe it's like birthday cards or holiday cards or something. I feel like you keep that sort of stuff, And it really is a lot of water in the reading right now, and I like that. I'm concerned about the Eight of Swords, so I want to take a look at another card up above everything. We got the universe. The universe is a vast, wide open place, right? And in some ways it could be kind of a lonely place. But I think that we're realizing that we have a lot of potential, realizing that there is no limit to the kind of experience we can have of life. Okay? And it could be that we're even wondering with the universe, we have this idea of time and space, right? It's maybe right now is that important kind of question, almost that existential crisis that we all go through. Why am I here? What am I really doing? What am I building, or what am I leaving to the world? What's going to be here after I'm gone? Right? Am I leaving a mark on the world? Am I making an impression on things? Am I helping to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness? Well, I think, for one, just through those little interactions, those random acts of kindness, you are. And with that connection with the past, the concert tickets or the holiday cards or something, that shows me the connection that you have with the past and with this idea of time and space and legacy almost, right? Or building something for future generations that will last, that will be here even after we're gone. And so the universe card is kind of telling me that, you want to leave this place just a little bit better than how you found it. Okay? And that's not egoic. That's not selfish. That's something I think that we all at some point are going to think about. What did I do with all the time I had here? And maybe you're very, very young. Maybe you're a teenager. Maybe you're in your 20s or 30s. Or you're about my age, or you're 70, 80, 90, 110 years old. It doesn't matter. We never know when we're going to go, right? So I think it's always a good time to think about, what am I doing while I'm here? What is the impression I want to leave on this place? Yeah. What is the record I want to leave, so to speak? And I think that you have a very unique contribution to the world, to the universe, right? And I think this is very much on your mind lately. Let's look at one Queen of Cups. More water energy, a lot of water energy. With all of this water energy, it feels like there's so much that you love, there's so much that you want to do. We see the Ace of Cups as being the seed of that love, right? But how is it going to expand and unfold? What's this seed? What kind of plant, what kind of tree is it going to grow into? Okay, so in some ways, I see all of this as maybe like, you might even be feeling like there's just too many choices. that there's all of this potential in you, and you just don't know perhaps what river to really focus on. Yeah, if it's family stuff, if it's friendships, if it's more about the community, more about the world itself, right? Kind of thinking globally. I feel like we're really looking to find that purpose, to find that meaning of life that's going to be our focus for a while, where we really can make a difference. We really can leave a mark, right? The Queen of Cups is about us being honest with ourselves emotionally in terms of who we are and what we want. It's kind of looking beyond the veil of our own emotions, radical self-acceptance, right? And kind of acknowledging, like, what is this Ace of Cups that I feel inside? Where is this really, where do I really feel it going? Yeah. And I think once we discover that, this river is going to gain so much force that nothing can stop it. Okay? But that might be the Eight of Swords dilemma that we're in right now, where we're just kind of analyzing and thinking, maybe starting to overthink it a little bit rather than just feel it. To be honest with ourselves, to really look at who we are and be emotionally transparent with ourselves. And say, this is where I want my life to go. This is what I care about the most. This is what I love the most, and this is the mark I want to leave on the world. Now, it doesn't mean that we're leaving anything else behind, right? Because the Nine of Cups, remember, it's physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative. Now, sometimes we get lucky. We find one thing in life, one path, one river that can satisfy all of those things. It's not very often. I think those of us that do that, we're very few and far between. Yeah. Most of us need several different outlets in life. We have several rivers going. You got the river of family, you got the river of friends, you got the river of your spirituality, you got the river of your work, whether that work is community-oriented or in industry, right, in some sort of commercial thing or some sort of creative thing. We have different outlets for that water energy. And I think you're kind of looking at which ones to focus on. Are there too many rivers right now? Are there not enough? Do we need to really strengthen a few of these, right? In order to really get that river established, right? To really, that water's going to etch itself into the earth and be there forever, So I think that this is you searching yourself to find what it is that you do truly care about and to pursue that, right? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down here. Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, drop it in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It helps out the channel, and channel needs your help, right? This channel is supported by viewers like you, and I appreciate you. General energy now, path of the serpent, we have the Eight of Wands. See, we've got this energy in this initiative, but we're kind of got the jazz hands. We're kind of tap dancing on the shag carpet here, getting ready. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? This, I think, it's starting to feel like anxiety. It's kind of this creative excitement. It's saying, I can do everything I want, anything I want to do, I can do it. It's going to be amazing. But it's just like, where do I start? And so I think you have a lot of options. I think you're someone that has a lot of talents. And sometimes that's a little bit of a challenge, right? Because there's so many things that you're good at, so many things that you love. And there's this need for you to make a difference in the world. That we've got to figure a way to kind of narrow it down, right? We got to have something we got to do like the Venn diagrams, right? We need something that has the talent, right? Something that also you love, and that's something that will make a difference. So do your little Venn diagram thing where you do the bubbles, and then wherever they overlap right in the center, that's the thing. That's part of the Eight of Swords, though. That's part of the analysis, okay? What we have to do is feel our way forward, and maybe it involves a little bit less analysis and decision making and just kind of more experimentation. Maybe we just test the rivers in a few directions and see which one kind of has all three of those things we need. We love it, we're good at it, and it's going to actually help the world, right? And then we just feel our way forward. Yeah. Otherwise, when we're in an Eight of Swords and we're doing all of this analysis, the other part of our soul is doing an Eight of Wands, tap dancing, jazz hands. Like, I just want to get going. Can we just figure something out here, right? Your will is starting to really gain. It's like a battery that we're like overcharging. We got to do something with that energy. So having two of these right in the center of your energy is a little bit challenging. And I feel that's where you might be right now. But let's look at your relationships with the environment. Knight of Wands. I think the Knight of Wands is really time for some action, okay? Knight of Wands is some Aries energy. It's fire on fire. Sometimes this is impulsive. Sometimes this is just thunder and lightning. It's sudden and abrupt, and it's scary, and it's just a flash, and it happens really fast. It's loud. This is just a burst of energy, firing a cannonball, right? And I think that's what we need. But if we're in an Eight of Wands energy, then we might just discharge our cannon. We don't even know where it's going. We don't want to do that. So I think before we do something impulsive, or before something just bursts forth from us and the horse is kind of running off with the rider, right? We've got to do it intentionally. We've got to trust in the horse, trust our instinct, trust what we find in this water energy, and the horse and the rider can become one. And we can allow ourselves to kind of be carried forward because we're doing it fully aware and intentional, rather than it just being kind of like I just can't hold on to it anymore and it just takes off and gets away from me. Okay? Because I feel like the energy is really starting to build up where it's just we want to be engaged in something that we love, that we're good at, that makes a difference. Okay? The obstacle to some of this, other than being the Eight of Swords, let's see, I wonder, I kind of feel like there's an obligation somewhere for you. Like, I don't know if you've taken some sort of oath or you've promised something to somebody. I'm getting that kind of a vibe here. Let's see what this card is. The Ten of Cups, more water energy. I think it really is just about the overwhelming pressure of this water that's building up in you. Right? We're talking about the fire kind of building pressure, but the Ten of Cups is it's the obstacle, it's the fear, it's the worry, right? And I wonder if part of the worry here is that we just won't be satisfied with anything. Okay? When we think of the Eight of Wands, we kind of think, well, I'm going in this direction, I'm going to take a step back. I maybe go 2 steps in this direction, I'm taking a step back. And this way and back, and this way and back, and this way and back, and this. And we do a lot of stuff. We're burning a lot of calories, but we didn't move, right? We went out, we came back to center. We went out, we came back to center. We're not making any progress. So I wonder if you have a difficulty kind of trusting in yourself that you commit to this one river or several rivers, that you do have these commitments, these oaths, these promises, and you make these commitments, but we just don't feel satisfied from it. So I wonder if it's maybe difficult for you to stick to one thing, because you do love so many different things, right? And we do have this relationship between our immediate desires and our long-term desires. Maybe it's difficult for us to stick to something for a long, long time. Okay, maybe. And that would, the Ten of Cups kind of says that. Well, there's just, I like the 9. I like the doing things. I like the novelty. I like being engaged and stuff. What I don't want to do is kind of do the same thing for a long time and get bored with it, or just get, with the Ten of Cups, it's almost like we're so happy we start to get numb to it. It's so much of that. It's like when you eat a lot of sugar. You're eating a big bowl of ice cream, right? Halfway through it, it doesn't taste sweet anymore because we've adapted to it. We've desensitized ourselves to that delicious ice cream. God, I love ice cream. So I think that the Ten of Cups is kind of about that. That we stick with one thing or a certain thing for so long, we get desensitized to it. It's not stimulating anymore. Like I said at the beginning, you have that perfect house, the perfect job, the perfect family, but it's just like, how do I build on this? How do I go from here? What do I do next? And so I feel that energy is really significant to you right now. There's someone in your family with a T name, first name or last name with a T, and I feel like they are always trying to give you advice, right? And I don't think that I think that you take the advice, you accept it, and you're very gracious, but I don't think you follow the advice. Because I think we're a little bit stubborn in that way, where it's just like, there's a lot of good ideas, but for some reason, none of them feel like the one. Yeah? Let's see what the final outcome card is here. The Princess of Wands. I think it's going to come down to us really just always wanting to do new things. I feel like you're somebody who likes to initiate things and then kind of, pass them off to the next group of people, right? So what kind of things can you get involved with that always allow you to be doing something new, to be starting new things? I feel like you're like an entrepreneur. You like to start the business and then you'll sell it. You want to start another one, then you'll sell it. So I can't think of a lot of examples, but you know what I mean. It's somebody that gets things going, gets things built, does something new. Like you want to, I don't know, you're building websites or something like that, or you like to build houses, not for you to go live in, but just to build it, right? And then you could sell it or whatever you want to do with it. So I feel like that's kind of your energy right now. Wanting to always be involved in something new. And you think of building a house, I don't know how long it takes to build a house, 6 months or I don't know what, year. Now for that year, you can stay involved in that, and that's kind of like the time frame. But then after that, it's like, okay, I need the next one. What are we doing? Or you're like a business consultant or something where like every couple weeks you're going to a different company with new challenges, and you're going to spend some time there and really fix things, and then you're going to be moving on, right? That's the energy that I feel for you. But let's look at the mystery card. Let's see. What are we thinking for the mystery card here? It's well, I'd like to see, what I was hoping that we would see somewhere here is one of your power cards, right? Hierophant energy, or the Prince of, we don't have any of the princes, huh? The Prince of Pentacles, okay? Because that's your fixed earth energy, that's your superpower. But I feel like this is not representing that. This is showing us something other than that, because this is almost the cardinal earth energy. I almost feel like I'm reading for like a Capricorn energy, right? Because you like to begin the things and then kind of we move on to something else. Once we kind of get something up and running, then we're, it's not for us anymore. We pass it on. So maybe we need a little bit of that fixed energy. I'd like to see a prince of some kind here, even if it's a prince of wands would be great. Right, we've got the Knight and the Princess of Wands. We need some fixed energy, some very stable energy that says we can start something and now we can continue doing it. We can sustain our effort long term, even if it's by building a house and then selling it, or writing a book and then on to the next one, or something of that nature, where it still has that kind of rush of the always being starting something, always initiating something. It's that entrepreneurial spirit, right? So something fixed is what I'm thinking. If you have a prediction, drop it in the comments. Let's see. Oh my goodness, the Hierophant. There it is. Your power card, your superpower card. The Hierophant is the card that rules the sign of Taurus. This is that fixed energy. And I think that what we're doing now is we're realizing that it's not just about, I got to pick one job, one river, one focus, one purpose in life, and I got to do it for the rest of my life, right? Not that kind of fixed energy, but this is something transcendent. You found a way to be committed and consistent for the long term, but in a way that satisfies you deeply, right? And so it's not about sticking in the same job for 50 years, but maybe it's about, being the consultant or being an independent contractor where you do the same, you're on the same path for 50 years, but you always have this feeling of I'm starting something new. Every day is different, or every week, or every, 6 months. So I think you're kind of discovering who you really are and what it is that really does satisfy you, something you love, something you're good at, and something that's going to make a difference in the world. And I think this is you realizing who you are and what that unique gift is that you can give to the world. I love this very much. Very pleasant surprise. I think this is really fabulous. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.